Hey there, this is a tutorial for Target 16, which is interpreting data displays. We have four different type of data displays we're going to work on. All right, well, let's get started. So the first type is a bar graph, right? These first few questions regard this bar graph here. So I'm just kind of looking at title, participation in camp activities. These are my numbers of campers. These are the activities down here. So it looks like I have four different activities. And then I have double bars here, and I can see by my key that the red bars indicate girls and the blue bars indicate boys. Okay, so let's answer some questions. How many campers participated in tennis? Okay, well, here's tennis, and I want how many campers, so it's going to be girls and boys. So girls, 30, boys, 25. I'm going to add that together. I get 55. Okay, so 55 campers participated in tennis. All right. What is the difference between the number of boys who went swimming to the number of boys who went canoeing? All right, so the boys who went swimming are right here. In fact, I'm going to label these really quick. So sometimes I think this is helpful to actually label the numbers right on the bars on top of them. So I'm going to sneak those in here as I'm working here. I just think that's going to make my life a little easier maybe. All right. 10 and 5. Okay, good little sidebar there. Difference between boys who went swimming to canoeing. All right, swimming, canoeing here. Boys are blue, 35, 20. That's a difference of 15. All right, which two activities were girls most interested in? So girls are red. Clearly, it was swimming and tennis are the two that are the most liked. Swimming and tennis, because clearly those bars are the highest. And overall, were there more boy or girl campers participating in activities? All right, well, there's more girls here. Here they're the same. Here there's more boys. Here there's more girls. So to really be careful, to know for sure, I should add all these up, right? So girls, 30, 35, that's 65, plus 15 is 80, plus 10 is 90. Okay, so the girl campers are 90, and the boy campers, 25 plus 35, that's 60, plus 20, that's 80, plus 5 is 85. All right, so it was close, but the girls, there are more of the girls participating in activities. There we go. That's your bar graph. All right, the second is a line graph. So we're going to refer to this line graph, which has monthly sales of something. So I'm going to assume these are my number of sales, and it looks like this is a calendar year. So I have number of sales each of these 12 months of a year. All right, which month had the most sales and how many sales were made? Well, right here, this is clearly the most, right? That's the highest, and it looks like that lines up with August with 4,000 sales. So it was August, and 4,000 is how many? How many months were sales less than 1,500? Okay, well, this is less than 1,500, right? Here's my 1,500, and I'm just looking for less than that. Here, there, there, and one more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 months that had sales less than 1,500. Okay. Get this out of my way. Approximately how many sales were made during the summer? Okay, and it's June through August we're considering. All right, so June is here, and I'm going to say it's about 1,100. All right, so this question is saying approximately, so I'm going to just kind of estimate best I can. That's June. I'm going through August, so I need July as well. I'm going to call that 1,200. And then August, as we know, was 4,000. We said that earlier. Okay, so if I want to know the total, how many sales in the summer, I need to add these up. All right, I add these up, and I have 6,300 sales. All right, the difference in sales between the highest selling month to the lowest selling month. Okay, well, my highest selling month was right here, for sure. I'm going to leave that. I'm going to erase these guys. My lowest selling month, it looks like, is right here in April. I think that is the lowest. And I'm going to call that, I don't know, say 900. Something like that. And again, I was just trying to get it close anyway. So the difference between 900 and 4,000 is 3,100. Okay, 4,000 minus 900. There's my difference. Now here, which months show a decrease in sales in comparison to the month prior? Okay, decrease in sales in comparison to the month prior. All right, let's see. Increase, increase, decrease. All right, so April was a decrease compared to the month prior, which was March. All right, I'm going to keep going though because there may be more. So increase, 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 big decrease. So it looks like September also had a huge decrease from the month prior, which was August. And then increase, increase, increase. All right, so there are really only 2 months where they decreased from the month prior, and that was April and September. All right, there's your line graphs. Let's move on. We're going to do a pie graph. All right, one of the big ideas with a pie graph is when they're displayed in percentages like this, the entire pie is 100%, or represents 100%, our total. Okay? So if you're ever missing a value here, you would need to add up what you have and see what you have left, right? Because they need to total 100%. Okay, in this case, everything's labeled for me, so I just need to answer these questions. What percentage of Sandra's day is spent at school or work? Well, school, 21% of the day is at school, and then 9% of her day is at work. So if I want either of these, right, this is an or question, I add these together. So this is a total of 30%. So 30% of her day is spent at school or work. Okay. What percentage of her day is not spent eating meals? Well, let's see. Eating meals is 14%. So not spent eating meals would be everything else. All right. So you could add all these up, but if you understand that our total is 100%, you could really just subtract the 14 from 100%. And that's what I'm going to do to get 86%. Right? Is not spent eating meals. It's doing these other things. All right. What could you say about her time spent on music compared to her time spent on homework? Well, let's see. Music's here at 6%. Homework's here at 12%. All right. Well, what jumps out at me is homework is exactly twice as much as music. Right? She spends twice as much time on homework. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of abbreviate that. Homework is twice music. All right, something like that. You could say some other things too, but I think that's a good description of what's going on there. And then last, about how many hours of sleep does she get each night? All right, well, here's my sleep, 38%. And, well, let's see, I need to know how many hours. Well, 100% of the day, that's 24-hour day, right? There's 24 hours. So that's the whole thing. And she's sleeping 38% of those 24 hours. So I need 38% of 24. Okay. Now, if you forgot how to do a percentage of a number, here's one common way to do it. You take your percentage and you make it a decimal. Okay. So 38% is 0.38. And then I'm just going to simply multiply it by my total that I need. Okay. And when I do that, so let's go ahead and do that. 0.38 times 24. And so this is in hours. So 9.12 hours, or a little more than 9 hours. Okay. So 9.12 hours. All right. So on average, she sleeps a little over 9 hours every night. Okay. Last thing we got here is a Venn diagram. Okay. So the circles represent, and this, well, I don't know exactly what this is. Looking at some of my questions previewing though, it looks like enrollments. in different courses. Okay, so for Spanish, that's this circle here. I'm going to trace it out in color maybe. All right, this whole circle, if you're in this circle, you enrolled in Spanish. All right, so we have 4 different groups of people. All right, if you're in this circle, you enrolled in chemistry. Okay, I'm going to color code that. And I'll do that here. And then let's see, I'll grab blue. If you're in this circle, you enrolled in math. Okay, so I'm going to kind of color code there. Okay, and obviously there's some overlap. Okay, so some people are in chemistry and math, some people are in all of them. We're going to talk about some of those specifically with these questions. All right, so here we go. How many students enrolled in Spanish? Okay, well, as I circled here, the red circle includes everybody enrolled in Spanish. Okay, so these 4 groups are all students enrolled in Spanish. So I need to add those up. And when I do that, I get a total of 93. So 93 students. Next one, how many students enrolled in math and chemistry? All right, so inside the blue is math. So these 4 groups are math. Chemistry, that's these 4 groups. So if I want math and chemistry, that's just these 2 groups here. These are the only 2 groups of people that enrolled in both math and chemistry. They're in both of those circles. Okay, so I have to total that, and that's 75. Okay, how many students did not enroll in chemistry? All right, so typically when I see a question that says not, right, if I see that, I'll kind of think about, well, what about the ones that did, all right? And that'll help me. So how many did enroll in chemistry? Well, that's everyone in the green, right? All these 4 groups. So if I want the ones that did not, then I'm just not including those. So those 4 people, I'm not going to count, right? Because those are the ones that did. Everyone else didn't, right? So I just need to add up what's left. And if I add those, I get 165. Okay. Next question, how many students enrolled in Spanish or math? All right, Spanish or math. I got to erase these. So Spanish or math, that means it could be Spanish, could be math, could be both. All right, so there's going to be a bunch of people here because it could be any of these 4, and obviously these are the same. So it's these 6 groups right here. All right, and if I think about the only 2 that are left, did any of these people enroll in Spanish or math? No. No, they didn't enroll in anything. All right, so everyone in here did though. Okay, so I need to add all those up. If you do that, I did this already. That's 238. You can go ahead and check my work if you want to. All right, erase this. I got one more question left. All right, how many students did not enroll in Spanish or math? All right, so here's that not problem again. Did not enroll in Spanish or math. Well, I'm going to find everyone who did enroll in Spanish or math. So they enrolled in Spanish. So I'm going to cross them off. They enrolled in Spanish. Well, these 2 enrolled in Spanish. Math as well. Okay, these people also enrolled in math. These people enrolled in math. All right, so I've crossed off everyone enrolled in math, crossed off everyone enrolled in Spanish. And what do I have left? Well, just these 2 groups of people, right? So I total those and it'd be 22. Okay. All right. So there's your Venn diagram practice. And altogether, there is your remediation on target 16.